Hello, movie lovers. Welcome back to The Movie Hunter. Today, we're diving into one of the most exciting movie events of 2026, the return of Peter Jackson's legendary Lord of the Rings trilogy to theaters. And not just any version, but the full extended editions, remastered and ready to blow us away all over again for the 25th anniversary of the Fellowship of the Ring. Before we dive deeper into the dates, the special features, and why you absolutely need to see this on the big screen, I'd love your support for The Movie Hunter. Please like and subscribe. It means the world to me. Thanks so much in advance for joining the hunt. Guys, I can't tell you how pumped I am about this. The Lord of the Rings isn't just a movie trilogy, it's a cultural phenomenon that changed fantasy films forever. Back in 2001, The Fellowship of the Ring hit theaters and kicked off something massive. Now, 25 years later, Warner Bros. And Fathom Events are bringing all three extended editions back to US cinemas in January 2026. And trust me, this is huge. Pre-sales have already hit $5 million with over 400,000 tickets sold, way ahead of last year's re-release. They're even adding more showtimes and locations because demand is through the roof. Let's get into the details you came for, the exact dates and schedule. This is a 2-weekend event, with the films playing one per day. First weekend, January 16th to 18th, 2026. That's Fellowship on Friday the 16th, Two Towers on Saturday the 17th, and Return of the King on Sunday the 18th. This weekend features special DBOX presentations were available. If you've never tried DBOX, it's those moving seats that sync with the action. You'll feel the battles, the horse charges, even the earthquakes in Moria. It's next-level immersion from Middle-earth. Then, the second weekend gives everyone another chance, January 23rd to 25th, with the same lineup: Fellowship on the 23rd, Two Towers on the 24th, and Return of the King on the 25th, this time in standard formats. Each film is the remastered extended edition, so we're talking serious runtime. Fellowship around 3 hours 40 minutes, Two Towers about 3 hours 51 minutes, and Return of the King a whopping 4 hours 27 minutes. That's over 11 hours total if you marathon them. Perfect for true fans. The coolest part? Peter Jackson himself recorded exclusive lengthy welcome introductions for each film. You'll get to hear from the director before every screening, fresh fan messages just for this event. Plus, select theaters will have limited edition Lord of the Rings themed concession items and collectibles, like special popcorn tins or maps. Check your local theater for those. They're going fast. Tickets are on sale now through Fathom Events' website or your favorite chains like AMC, Regal, or Cinemark. Head to fathomevents.com for the full list of participating theaters and to grab yours. Seriously, don't wait. This is shaping up to be one of the biggest classic re-release events ever. Now let's talk about why these movies are timeless. Peter Jackson's adaptation of J.R.R. Tolkien's epic novels is pure magic. The trilogy cost around $281 million to make, but grossed nearly $3 billion worldwide and swept up 17 Academy Awards, including Best Picture for Return of the King, which went 11 for 11, a record that still stands. The cast is stacked with legends: Elijah Wood as the brave hobbit Frodo Baggins, Ian McKellen as the wise wizard Gandalf, Viggo Mortensen as the rugged Aragorn, Sean Astin as loyal Samwise, Orlando Bloom as Legolas, John Rhys Davies as Gimli, Billy Boyd and Dominic Monaghan as Merry and Pippin, Liv Tyler as Arwen, Cate Blanchett as Galadriel, Hugo Weaving as Elrond, Christopher Lee as Saruman, and Andy Serkis bringing Gollum to life in a groundbreaking motion capture performance that changed CGI forever. Let's break down each film's plot and some of my favorite facts, because if you're new or it's been a while, this will get you hyped. Starting with the Fellowship of the Ring, the one that started it all. In the peaceful Shire, young hobbit Frodo inherits a mysterious gold ring from his uncle Bilbo. Gandalf reveals it's the One Ring, forged by the Dark Lord Sauron to rule all of Middle-earth. If Sauron gets it back, everything's doomed. Frodo sets out to destroy it in the fires of Mount Doom, joined by his gardener Sam, cousins Merry and Pippin, and later the Fellowship: Aragorn the Ranger, Boromir from Gondor, Legolas the Gulf, Gimli the Dwarf, and Gandalf. They face black riders, trolls, battles in Moria with that insane Balrog fight, "You shall not pass," and heartbreak when the group breaks apart. The extended edition adds so much depth, like more Hobbiton scenes, extra lore and Lothlorien, and deeper character moments. Fun fact, this film was shot all at once in New Zealand over 438 days, turning the country into a filming paradise. It won 4 Oscars and set the bar sky high. Next, The Two Towers, my personal favorite for the action. The Fellowship is scattered. Frodo and Sam trek toward Mordor, picking up the creepy Gollum as their guide. Andy Serkis is incredible here, playing both sides of that tormented creature. Meanwhile, Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli chase orcs to rescue Merry and Pippin, who end up with the Ents, those walking trees, and spark a rebellion against Saruman. The highlight? The Battle of Helm's Deep. 40 minutes of non-stop rain-soaked warfare that still looks epic today. Thousands of extras, practical effects, and that sunrise charge with Gandalf. Extended cuts give us more on Faramir, Boromir's brother, and extra Theoden backstory. Fun fact, Viggo Mortensen broke his toe kicking that helmet. It's in the film. And the Ent scenes were almost cut but saved the movie's soul. Finally, The Return of the King, the grand finale that ties everything together. Frodo, Sam, and Gollum reach Mordor for the ultimate test of willpower against the ring's corruption. Aragorn steps up as king, leading massive battles at Minas Tirith with Oliphants, ghosts, and the Witch King. Shelob's lair, the lighting of the beacons, Sam carrying Frodo up the mountain. I can't carry it for you, but I can carry you. It's emotional perfection. The ending with multiple farewells still makes me tear up every time. Extended edition adds the Houses of Healing, more Saruman resolution, and that Mouth of Sauron scene. It swept the Oscars, and Howard Shore's score is legendary. That Shire theme gets me every single time. These films pioneered so much. Practical sets built full scale, forced perspective for hobbits, revolutionary VFX for Gollum and massive armies. They turned books many thought unfilmable into a masterpiece that inspired everything from Game of Thrones to modern blockbusters. If you've never seen them in a theater, or even if you have, this 2026 event is special. The big screen, the sound, the crowd reactions during those iconic lines, it's unforgettable. And with the remastered picture, DBOX for the first weekend, and Peter Jackson's personal intros, it feels fresh. I'm planning to catch all 3 if I can, maybe even dress up a little, why not? What about you? Which film are you most excited for? Fellowship's Wonder, Two Towers Battles, or Return of the King's Payoff? That's it for today's deep dive into the Lord of the Rings 2026 theatrical return. If this got you excited, hit that like button, drop a comment with your favorite LOTR moment, and subscribe to the Movie Hunter for more epic movie news, reviews, and hunts like this. Bell notification on so you don't miss the next one. Thanks for watching, fellow hunters. One ring to rule them all. See you in the theaters. Until next time, keep hunting those great movies.